Hello, welcome to today's show. It's about positive quotes, some motivational thoughts to lift your life story creating. The show today is brought to you thanks to the Your Family Story System, which is a step-by-step process on how to create a loved one's life story. Now, you could be helping them with an autobiography, a memoir, a biography, or some other project. But I'll have some more information about free sections to this system at the end of the show. So please stay with me. G'day, if you're brand new to Forever Young Autobiographies, it's the place where we learn how to create, record life stories for family and friends, so unique memories can live on. And it'd be simply super if you could follow, subscribe, like the show, even share it with a friend if you think they will find it helpful. So today's show is positive quotes, and I bring this up because it's fast approaching the middle of the year. How quickly has this come up? And I must admit, those New Year writing goals, yes, they're getting a little bit dusty, and I think it's time that we re-examine them. And the best thing about doing this is that we've passed the halfway, we're coming to the halfway mark of the year, but there's still another half a year to go. There's so much possibility and so much opportunity with our writing goals. So I've come up with three sort of different sections for today's show. The first one is about making a positive start with your writing, so how to get a project off the ground. I've got a collection of quotes here which I'm just going to read, but I hope you would take something on board for each one. Now, this first one is by Jim Hamilton. He's written his autobiography, Waves of Life. I featured him recently on the show, but he says, his quote is, "Start. I feel that like any journey, starting with a first step, a writing project starts with typing or writing the first words. So do not worry about the final version or product, just start writing." Now, that's some great words from Jim, isn't it? You really do have to just take that first step. Now, here we go, is another one I've got for you, is by Abraham Lincoln. He says, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Now, this president, he knew what he was talking about, wasn't he? He was thinking like, if I've got a big project, I've got to do some planning. I can't just lay into it. I've got to really have some preparation. So that can apply not just to writing, but to life, can't it? That is a wonderful quote about getting started. Another one here I have is Melinda Haynes. She says, "Forget all the rules. Forget about being published. Write for yourself and celebrate writing." Now that comes back to our why. Having a strong why makes writing and starting to write so much easier. So now I've got a couple here for you about the hard chore of writing. No, it's not really that hard. It shouldn't be hard. It can be daunting, but I wouldn't say it's hard. We just have to start. Now, these words of encouragement. The first one I'm starting here is with John Lawrence. He's written a series. It's called Playing Doctor, and number 2 is called Residency. Again, featured him on the show earlier. But he says, "Write, write, and write. Certainly, I think writers hear it all the time, but your writing craft is like a muscle that needs to be exercised, and it gets easier the more you do it. So just commit and start it." Very, very important, John. Great words. Now, here we are. We're going classical. I've got Wolfgang Mozart, and he says, "When I am completely myself, entirely alone during the night, when I cannot sleep, it is on such occasions that my ideas flow best and most abundantly." So that's great, isn't it? He's sort of saying, look, don't overthink things. If you sit down, it can be difficult. Be open to ideas and inspiration. Be open to memories and things that come to the surface when you're doing your life story writing. Then the third one in that one is Ray Bradbury. He says, "Just leave your mind alone. Your intuition knows what it wants to write. So get out of the way." I really love that one. It's a great reminder. We do all need to get out of our own way. Now that brings me to the final section for today, which is quotes to do with finishing strong, getting this project to completion. Now, this First one is by Evelyn Cole Latore. She's written Love in Any Language, a life story, and she says, write your truth without embarrassment. Certainly it is amazing how examining past unspoken burdens and shame lifts them from your shoulders to leave you feeling freer than before. So the process can be exhilarating. Really, really important when we're writing that, to write truthfully. That can help complete a story. It really becomes authentic for our readers. And they're really on your side when they're picking up a book. If they're friends and family, they're not going to be worried too much about your typos or how your writing is. They just really want to hear your story and your truth. Next, we have the master, Stephen King, on writing. He says, when you write a book, you spend day after day scanning and identifying the trees. When you're done, you have to step back and look at the forest. Now that's a really great quote. I mean, you're focusing at a high, on the nitty gritty of the trees, but when we're finishing a project, zoom back out and then you can see the story in its entirety, and you can edit it to suit your reader, to suit your themes and the reasons why you're writing. Great, great quote. And finally, we're going to go back to ancient time. We have Horace. He says, you must often make erasures if you mean to write what is worthy of being read a second time. And don't labour for the admiration of the crowd, but be content with a few choice readers. I think that's fantastic, because sometimes we do get all a bit worried about what we're writing. We're not writing to be a bestseller on the New York Times, or we're not writing to do something for the Queen. We're writing usually for our friends and family. And so just remember that it takes the pressure off, and we really can start, write and finish a life story project. So there you go. That's the best quotes I've got for you for some mid-year inspiration, some mid-year motivation. And I hope that by going over these ideas and these quotes to do with starting, writing and finishing a project, that you're really going to be reinvigorated to take the next step, that next piece of action in your life story project, your life story writing journey. And this show is just a summary, a snippet of everything I've got over at my website. I've got all the quotes laid out for you there. And you can find out more. Go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/positive quotes. I'll leave the link for you in the description, but please check that out. And while you're there, I'd like to know, what is a positive quote that you've got or you live by that you would like to share? Please put in the comments or send me an email at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/contact. Now, at the top of the show, before I go, I mentioned the Your Family Story system, which helps you interview a loved one and record their life story. So how to initiate an interview, how to hold an interview, and then what to do with all this content once you've finished. And I lay that out step by step in the Your Family Story system. But I've got the free sections to give away. You go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/free. Links will be in the description for you and how to get that one as well. But simply put in your name, your email, and I will send you the link to get that for free. So please go and have a look. And if it's up for your liking, then you can go on with the full system. So there you go, that's the show for today. I'll be back again really soon with another topic, and it would be super if you could follow, subscribe, like the show, share it with a friend. And until then, until next time, happy writing.